everybody, Bryan Ballreich with Roland DGA in Irvine, and I just wanted to touch on a topic relating to my previous video about cutting features within VersaWorks and the cut all paths selection. Again, I wanted to reiterate, you cannot turn it on after. So in other words, if it's a job you've brought in already and you're trying to select it, you'll notice it's grayed out. So let me run up there real quick. We'll go up to this job here I've brought in. As it turns out, I've just brought this job in, but we can see the vectors in the design, but they're not designed with our spot colors for cutting. Therefore, they're just showing up as print data. So there's nothing to be cut in this design. So you would think that, oh, if I go down to cutting features and cutting options, and you'll notice, wouldn't it be great if I could just turn on cut all paths and it would see the paths and just turn them into cut designs? You can't do it unless you've set the defaults for the queue to select the cut all paths option. So let me show you how that works. So I've already done it in a previous queue. So on QA, if you go in and you go to edit QA, in this case, take a look at the settings, and you go down to the cut options, you'll notice I've got it selected. That means that any job that I bring into that queue, any path that the RIP sees, every path will then have cutting designation added to it. Okay, it'll get you out of a jam. It's a neat feature to have, and it's useful on that occasion where you don't want to take the time to edit a job. Maybe it's in a file format that you can't edit and you still need to just cut. Well, you can use this as an option. So again, let me show you real quick. So I've brought in this job, and you'll notice that my QB is set up to be standard, so that feature hasn't been turned on. So it's just operating normally. It's looking in this design for the cutting features to be spot color designated in the design, but it doesn't see them. Therefore, we're not seeing any dancing ants, any indication of a cut contour or a perf cut. There's nothing designed in this file that will be cut. And like I mentioned, this queue hasn't been designated as a cut all paths queue, so it's not going to have that ability. But I've taken that same file into QA, which is pre-designed, predefined, and set up as a default in the queue for cut all paths. I brought the job in. Again, it's a particular job that doesn't have any cut data designed in it. It's just made for printing. So there it is. You'll notice I see nothing. But the difference is QA does have the feature turned on that is cut all paths. So notice when I say to cut only, we have cut data. Again, it did that by simply saying, I see vector information, I see shapes that are bound by an actual vector line. All it did was say, okay, I'm turning all of them into cut data. And now we can actually use this design for a cut. And we didn't have to go into the design and edit it. We didn't have to redefine each of the lines as a specific spot color like you would normally do. Cut contour as the regular contour cuts, and then perf cut contour. We didn't have to do any of that editing. We can just go ahead and cut. But that is how it's done. You have to actually go into the queue properties, set cut all paths first, and then bring your job in. Hopefully this has been helpful and it gets you to use this feature if you needed it. I look forward to seeing you in another video in the future. Thank you.